The dog mentality. I think the dog mentality is a term sort of coined by David Goggins, um, but I find myself thinking over the dog mentality quite often, and this is nothing new. I think the dog represents a savage mind state, hunger, and a degree of persistence or maybe resilience. Um, Let me give you guys an example. If it's cold and raining and nasty and muddy outside, nobody really wants to run in that. Conditions suck, probably going to be windy, and who wants to get covered in mud and be cold and miserable? But after you check into that dog mind state, you're ready to go 10 miles in that. Uh, and I find that I can pretty well hit this reserve of the dog nearly on command. Um, I've got to get serious about it, but most of the time I can push myself through something that I did not want to go through. Now, I do not want to give you guys the idea that I have that mentality present with me all the time. I don't want you to think that I practice that 24 hours a day, because truth is I don't. I fail very often. I fall slack and complacent just like anybody else. I'm really no different. Uh, I'm underslept today, and you know whose fault that is? That's mine. I didn't get into bed until nearly 12 o'clock last night. Yesterday was Sunday, so we went to church, and after church, it was just kind of a day for me to lay around. Between the services, went back to church that night, came back home, and laid around again. So I didn't get into the garage until super late. And then after going in and taking a shower and eating, it was 11:45 before I ever got in bed. And then once I got in bed, I sat and scrolled on my phone for, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention what time it was when I put my phone down. But that's why it is so important to me to stay consistent and rigid in my practice of discipline. Letting off for one day at times is necessary. Yesterday, it was not, and it bled over all the way throughout the day. And then that had its consequences today. You know, I could have been in bed easily by 10:30 last night, and had I not pushed off the workout and sat on my phone, I could have gotten in bed probably by 9:30. Just let that sink in. And so now I took a day off work today to catch up on homework, and I was tired through most of the day today, and so I was less productive on homework. Didn't get as much done as I would like to. I thought I was going to be able to work 2 weeks ahead, but I only got this week's work done. So now I still going to stay late after work to get probably some of next week's work done. But there's nobody to blame for that except myself. For the squats tonight, I warmed up pretty good. Took 135 for 3 sets of 10. I took 225 for 3 sets of 8. Took 275 for 3 sets of 5. Took 315 for a failed double. Then went for a single. And I was not happy with that at all. I knew that I had more in the tank. I wanted to go for a 3x3, but honestly, the body wasn't willing to give a 3x3 with 315. So I managed to pump out one final set of 3 after 2 singles. I just wasn't really in the right headspace on the first 2 sets. And so that last one, I, told myself I had to get serious about it. Man, my hip flexors are tight today because I've been sitting down at a desk basically all day. I've still got a 2-mile run tonight. It's cold outside. Not going to be very enjoyable, and I was going to try to push the pace today. But given how hard I push squats tonight, I'm not sure that the pace is going to be super hard. I journaled tonight as well. I'm going to post a picture of my journal at the end of this video, but I'm going to go ahead and read that for you guys just to kill some time. Throughout this voiceover here. I find myself here at this altar again. I'm not sure what drives the chase. I only know that I desire to run. An outlier. Searching for lost morals, clinging to forgotten values, and attempting to live as I think a man should. I suffer a war of my own creation, and yet it takes place only in my head. If it's only imaginary, why is it soul felt? Discernment. The ability to judge well. It's unfortunate at times being able to sense the bad in something so quickly, to read the energy in the room. It's sad to see how many people are miserable throughout their daily lives. I don't write tonight to sound as if I have the answer or to think that I'm a step ahead of the crowd. I fail just as often. I grow slack and complacent. But I understand that if I try not to believe in this war, there's nothing else to look forward to. The same faults, the same weights, the same struggles, manifesting themselves uncontrollable. I have a vision for myself, and every night I must sleep knowing I fell short. I'm not sure that the level of excellency I strive for is even attainable, but by chasing it, I sleep sound. Fulfillment. Why does it reside in this? Perhaps because I'm chasing what I was born with, not rejecting it. My soul smiles at the idea of an outlier. I have peace amidst the harshest adversities. I'm finding who I was meant, who I strive to be. A man with a desire to run. And that's my journal for you guys. Let's see what set's coming up. All right, 275 for 5. Something I wanted to touch on through here. Oh yeah, the war. The battle of self-discipline. It's sort of a self-imposed war. A lot of people never bat an eye towards self-improvement. But I find that if I do not pay attention to this, if I do not put myself in this war, I'm not as happy. I find that I get complacent everywhere throughout life. I just kind of grow unhappy with the decisions I'm making. I start to indulge in things that I shouldn't be indulging in. I start to eat how I shouldn't eat, and that, your diet really affects how you feel physically, and it can really affect your mental energy as well. There's just so many different outcomes and results from how you handle yourself. I don't know. I kind of put all my words that I had into this journal tonight. This is my second journal for the month, just because I've been so busy. But I find that there's a lot more fulfillment in life for me if I strive to be better. I look around at everybody, and everybody's unhappy with who they are. Everybody is wanting to lose weight and all this. That's kind of just an example there. And nobody can ever stick to these things. Nobody can look in the mirror and be happy. I go to bed with a smile on my face every night. I'm very, very happy with who I am. And I think I've kind of built that happiness for myself. Everybody always believes that happiness is going to be in something external, something material. And all of that is vanity, man. All of it. People reach for everything except what they already have inside of them. And if you could just redirect your efforts to work on yourself, you'll see that you probably had happiness all along. It's just that your perspective wasn't there to appreciate anything. Anyways, you guys enjoy this triple here. I'm gonna go for a run. Catch you guys tomorrow.
All right, I just went to war on a 2-miler. I'm not a very fast runner, but the first mile was an 8:33, and the second mile was a 7:48. Those are fast splits for me, and I just hit a big squat session. Quads were cramping the entire second mile. But one day life is gonna call you to overcome every obstacle out there, all the adversity, all the challenges. One day you're gonna have to step over that, and I don't know what situation it's gonna be in, but if you can practice overcoming all the odds every single day, then once life forces it on you, it's going to be a walk in the park. Catch y'all on the next one.